So my cumulative is 4 out of 4 so far since we've started the shows back. The co-host as a group went 3 out of 4, even though obviously it was Tim's effort there that you're going to have to make up ground on this week, Al. Super Brew, Leeds fan John Hamilton, he retains top spot for Hull KR fan Steve Johnson wears the yellow cap this week, so well done, Steve. Steve's not a name that I'm familiar with, so if you do listen to the show regularly, Steve, make sure you get your match reviews in and get your comments in. It'd be great to hear from you. In terms of the dream team, it was Stephen Bowie, the Saints fan, who stays top. He's very used to that position. The best scoring this week, though, came from another Hull KR fan, I think he is, Daniel Kraft. He had an impressive 551 on a 4-game weekend. I thought that was really good. When I saw my score come in at 460 odd, I was quite happy. I thought I might have a chance for score of the week, which I need because I'm a long way behind. But Daniel absolutely pulled it out of the bag, and I think I was third best in the end this week. Okay, that's.
I don't think I've got 550 in a 6-game weekend. So yeah, there you go.
It's not your game, is it? The dream team.
I don't. There's a reason I called my team Obscurity by Easter, because I come into it full of enthusiasm and then I just fade away so quickly. Yeah, but anyway,
very much. The first time you run out of transfers because of injuries, that's me gone. Right, okay, we're going to move on. We've tried to cover the games that we've had in as much detail as we could. I think we've done a good job of that. Now it's going to be a very in-depth other results section coming up from us. So, on to other results then, sponsored by Master of Shaves. Master of Shaves is a small family-run business that sells high-quality traditional wet shaving products and specialises in straight razors. I don't know what a straight razor is. I've never seen a razor. But
it sounds like something I could do a mischief with myself too. So yeah, I might. There's a reason I kind of go for something between stubble and a full-grown beard. It's self-preservation.
For those who want to tidy themselves up more than me and you do, you can visit their website at masterofshaves.com, and Super League Pod listeners can get an impressive 10% off their order by using the voucher code SLP at checkout. So make sure you support Master of Shaves, one of our great sponsors to start the season. In terms of the results, there was 3 fixtures played in round 5 of the Championship. On Saturday afternoon, unaffected by the weather, Toulouse put 54 on Rochdale, 54-6 in that one. So Toulouse going well there. An exciting one, another late giving up of a lead at home for the Lee Centurions, who went down to Featherstone Rovers 38-30. Featherstone turning that one around in the last 20 minutes or so. And then finally the televised game on Premier Sports. And I think it was on Free Sports this weekend, so I was a bit disappointed we didn't get any match reviews from anyone on it. But Swinton 12, Toronto 52, the Wolfpack eased to a victory. Blake Wallace was back in the side and was stepping everyone in his way, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was impressed by Wallace. I think was Macron injured? Did he have an injury?
Was
suspended.
Yeah.
Well, it might be a blessing in disguise, because to me Wallace looked notably better.
Yeah, QLT's playing reasonably well at fullback, but I was half expecting them to shove Brearley at fullback and get Wallace playing, because he looks a bit more threatening with the ball than Macron has looked so far this season, and Briley's a support player. He doesn't make things happen by himself for himself very often. Although that try he scored from the kick from Joe Westerman, very tasty.
Yeah, well, it was great skill from Westerman, wasn't it? I mean, talk about skill wasted at this level. But obviously Swinton didn't help themselves by kicking out on the full to start with. You kind of last thing you want to do when you're trying to compete with a team that's you're way overmatched. But predictable result in the end, I guess.
Yeah, well, Josh Woods should be used to that pitch. He played in it a few times last year, but maybe the new fancy posh windows and balcony on the clubhouse had put him off, and he judged his distances a bit wronger there, unfortunately, and then he never really got a chance to get into the game, which is a shame, because I like the kid. But yeah, games between Barrow and Dewsbury, Batley and Halifax, and Sheffield and London were all postponed. That all means that Toulouse moved top on points difference with 4 wins from 5 games, as the 100% London Broncos game did fall to the weather, like we said. Featherstone, they're also on 8 points, so they're third. Toronto on 7 make up the top 4. Dewsbury, Batley, Halifax, and Barrow all stay ahead of the Leigh Centurions, who sit ninth. But Rochdale, Sheffield, and Swinton remain winless. In League One, unfortunately, round 2 of League One, every game there fell foul to the weather, including the Bradford game, which I know you were keen to go to. The old man who sat in your chair, as it were, Tom, was supposed to be at the game. Big Dave Cantrell was supposed to be getting up on the train, and a few others. I think there was going to be a mini SLP meet up there, but the weather saw foul of that one, unfortunately.
It's tricky, isn't it? Because if you look at the number of games that have been called off, obviously League One and in the Championship, and obviously Super League as well, it's the season's so congested. It's going to be tricky to make those games up. And I've said that even if they lost, it's probably the best thing to do was get the game on. And I completely agree with that.
Yeah,
I think
League One
it's tricky.
League One have a few spare weekends. I think so they might be okay there. It's a shame with League One, because I'm sure there were some games that probably could have gone ahead by 3 o'clock on.
Without question.
But,
I mean,
but a lot of teams have to travel a lot of distance, don't they, in League One? And that's I can't remember exactly all the fixtures off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure Doncaster had to go all the way over to West Wales. Obviously, London Scholars were going up to Bradford. They had to get through a lot of weather to get up there. Whoever's playing Newcastle or whoever Newcastle are playing, that's a big effort. So yeah, understandable that all the games were called off come Saturday with freezing temperatures and lots of weather to get through. Okay, we will now move on to our preview and predictions after a very short other results round. And get ready with your predictions, Alan.
I will.
Right, it's time for preview and predictions, now sponsored by Payroll Central UK Limited. Payroll Central is a family-run business based in Derbyshire, offering an outsourced payroll service for businesses across the UK. Unlike many accountants offer payroll as a side service, they are fully qualified payroll specialists who provide payroll services for businesses in every sector. Visit payroll-central.co.uk, and if you mention Super League Pod when you contact them, you can get 1 month's free payroll service and a 10% discount on their normal prices. So if you do run it, I'm going to cover off, Alan, that I don't have an account set up with them. There's no payroll yet. You're going to have to certainly court a lot more donations for that to happen.
Right,
if anyone out there does have a small business, certainly get in touch with Payroll Central. Last time I checked the website, it was under redesign.
Okay.
But go on there and see what you can find. And if you miss the web address, it'll be on the blog post that I'll put up with all those good details, because that's a really quality offer that they've put out there, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so in terms of the Super League fixtures, we're moving into round 5, and Thursday night Sky game kicking off at the 7:45 time slot is the Leeds Rhinos versus Hull FC. How do you see this one happening?
I see Leeds winning this one, I have to say. Obviously they've had an enforced week off, but a week off all the same. I just can't see past Leeds on this one. I think I've got them winning by 4.
Right, okay, I've actually got them winning by a bigger margin. I agree with Leeds. I think this will be the first time at Headingley this year.
Yes, it will.
Am I right in thinking they're able to partially open the South Stand already? If they are, then that's a really rapid building process. I'm not sure if they're ready to yet, but I think they're working towards that. If they can, that'll help with the atmosphere. I just think losing Watts, a few, the classic Hull FC injury crisis, but losing Watts for a game, having a few people playing out of position maybe. I'm not sure on the fitness of Kelly, not sure on the fitness of Burrito. So it feels like a tough ask when Leeds have had a bit of time to work on a lot of the things that a new halfback partnership and a shift up with injury to that halfback partnership needs to work on, and they can get some of their players back, because they were facing a lengthy illness and injury list for last week, and now they've got a bit of time recover from that. I'm going 24-14 in favour of that home side Leeds Rhinos.
Okay.
So on Friday night, the Sky game is Warrington versus St Helens. Also 7:45 kick-off. I've got a weird feeling that Warrington are going to beat the good teams this year and lose to the bad teams. So, and I can't really qualify it more than that. I think they're going to have to look at what they're doing in the halfbacks, but that might not be a bad thing. Yes, Godwin's probably going to be out, and we didn't talk about that actually. His injury probably didn't affect the game too much on Friday night, but it does affect them. But I really like Toby King. I think he's a quality player.
Yeah.
He's prone to the odd mistake at the moment still, but I think he's a real quality player. And I just think that Warrington are going to have a good home crowd on and stuff. I've got them edging it. I've got them 20-16 winners, and I can't really explain why, but I think they're going to win.
So from your kind of little make it up as you go along little summary there, are you saying that Hull FC are a bad team this year?
That's a good point. I say no. But they do have stupid players. That's a very good point that you picked me up on. Hull FC are not a bad team, but
just in in terms of next. Yes, of course. Yes, just in terms of next week, you don't want to be getting yourself in the bad books of your next co-host.
Not at all. But yeah, go for it.
I can't share your enthusiasm for Warrington. Obviously they're a slightly different prospect at home. But Helen's just look too good to me. They've got too much class. I'm not saying they're going to go and beat him or anything stupid like that, but it's going to take something for somebody to knock them off, I think. So I don't think it'll be a runaway. I've got Saints by 8, but I can't see them being turned over at this stage of the season.
Fair enough. I mean, I just think Warrington's game this year is going to be built on defence, if nothing else. So that's what I'm hoping for in this one. Also on Friday night, only 2 games on Friday night this week. The other one is also in the same neck of the woods, only down the road. Widnes versus Huddersfield. So anyone who wants to try and flip between both teams 10 miles apart, not going to be able to this time. So Widnes are hosting Huddersfield on the plastic pitch. I'm going to go with a reasonable home win here. I just think Widnes actually have got a pretty good attack this year, and if they can get the defensive structures right for at least 60 minutes in this game, I think they can beat a Huddersfield side that have struggled to break their opponents down so far this year. So I'm going 30 points to 20 in favour of Widnes. I think they've got a little bit more spark in attack. I really like that young hooker, Walker. I think Joe Mellor's back to is threatening best. I think Tom Gilmore will have had a long look at himself for his kick into touch on Friday night, and will want to address some wrongs there. So 30 points to 20 in favour of the Vikings. What say you?
I agree about Widnes winning. I don't think it'll be quite as convincing. I've got them winning by 2, but I can't see. Having seen Huddersfield last week, I can't. They seem a long way off to me. I can't really see them, scoring too many points. And it might be quite close. Also, Matt is down as just a 2-point win, but I think Widnes they've got enough this year. They've got off to a reasonable start. Obviously, kind of, the result could have gone another way on Friday. But as it was, I think they've got 2 out of 4, and I can see them making 3 out of 5. I really can. I think they're carving out a chance to finish in the top 8. I really do think they are. They've got a shot at it this year.
We get the bonus Catalan Sky game this week, Friday at 5 o'clock. Catalan are hosting Hull Kingston Rovers, and what do you think will happen in this one?
See, out of any 6 kind of results, I've got to pick something that's slightly off kilter. So I've gone for Catalan on this one.
Yeah, the problem there is so have I.
Well,
Why do you think that Catalan are going to get the first win of the season then?
Because they're due. Hull KR are not getting any great shakes. It's got to be one of those games that they're targeting. If McNamara's got anything about him, which I'm not entirely convinced about, this is a game that they've got to win. It's an absolute must. They're not going to have many games where they're kind of potentially got a better kind of 17 available to them than their opposition. So they've got to win these games at home. It's an absolute must.
And you'd think of all the sides. I've gone 22-20, so similar-ish, close margin win for the Dragons. You'd think of all the sides in Super League